Hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. You know who it is. It's really dark and rainy outside. It's nasty. I'm sorry about the lighting situation, but I know I look like a creepy guy who's spending all night on the internet. But hey, welcome to the coolest thing I've heard on Twitter this week. Actually, this dropped February 26th. This was a while ago. But still, this is 21 Savage's manager over here. He says, 21 Savage no longer wears jewelry. Buying houses, investing in businesses, crypto, and youth startups is what he wants to make cool for young rappers to do. Coolest thing I've heard all week. Coolest thing I've heard all week. I know there are a lot of young people out there who listen to my show and watch my YouTube videos who are trying to make music, trying to get into the music industry, da-da-da-da-da-da. If you come into a lot of money really quickly in the music industry, which a lot of artists do, which I suspect is a bit of a ploy kind of situation, because the label, listen, they don't give you, the label just doesn't hand you $1 million unless they're expecting to make more than $1 million. Unless they're expecting to make that million back and more off of you and your music, okay? So you need to think about the way other people are profiting and benefiting off of your art and off of your creativity and off of your brand. And you have to approach your time in the music industry the same way. Not to say that you should avoid any label deals or business dealings with labels as a result of that piece of information I've just bestowed upon you. But you need to approach things the same way. The label is investing money in you as an artist because they have the connections and they believe that your music can turn them a profit. You need to take the money that you've earned, that you're being handed out of nowhere. You need to take that same money and say, okay, how can I take this money and put it into something else that's going to make me money back? And as is talked about in this tweet right here, one of the fastest ways, if you're smart about it and you do the research, is property. You could buy a piece of property, rent it, or buy property through some other means where you can sort of have it being rented through another party. And instantly you're already making thousands of dollars per month off of that property that you were not making before. That's another income stream that's essentially come out of nowhere. Ask 2 Chainz about that shit, because that's what 2 Chainz did with a lot of his money in the music industry. To take hundreds of thousands of dollars and put it into something that's just going to sit there on your fucking neck is stupid. It's stupid. I mean, unless you have so much money that you literally have nothing else to spend it on. You've got houses, your family members got houses, you've got investments, you've got the cars, everybody you know and love and care about is taken care of and cared for. You've done the philanthropy, you've done donations, and da-da-da. If you literally have nothing else to spend it on, sure, why not? Piece of jewelry, piece of gold that's probably going to slowly accrue value over time. I know people have talked about jewelry in the sense of, oh, it's an investment. It's really not. Your diamond-encrusted Jake the dog from Adventure Time is not an investment. If you ever do end up selling that chain, all that's going to happen to it is someone's going to melt that shit down so that it can become another chain, or it's just going to be broken down and all the pieces are going to be sold individually. That's all that's going to happen to that. So it's not really an investment. It's barely an investment. If you buy and take care of and maintain a house, that is something that can be making you way more money than a chain is ever going to make you for decades and decades and decades and decades down the road. Decades down the road. 30 years, 40 years down the road. Whereas a chain, not so much. And also for him to be talking about maybe doing youth startups and crypto, that's totally smart. That's totally interesting. Guys, if you're coming into money, you got to do smart things with the money. You can't just spend it on stupid shit. You have to reinvest it into things that are going to make you money, or you have to reinvest it into your business. Reinvest it into your business, into your brand. Reinvest it into better music videos, better production, if you need to pay for better features or something like that. And listen, this is advice that I'm giving to people who are in the music industry already and have music industry connections. If you're starting out and you're trying to give these rappers thousands of dollars for features that they don't actually like follow up on and do for you, you know, that's not something I'm recommending that you do. But if you do come into a lot of money because you've entered the music industry, because you've just been kind of you've been given this large sum of cash, and you're kind of getting lost in the fact that this is more money than you've ever seen in your entire life. Meanwhile, the label is making more money off of you and is just kind of like looking at your watches, looking at their watches, waiting for your 15 minutes of fame to run up so they can just like kick you out and like, okay, thanks. You know, that was good. We put $1 million into you. We made 5 million, 6 million back. You're totally irrelevant. Nobody cares about you. And we're pretty much done. That was it. Bye-bye. So, guys, you need to put yourselves in a position where that money that you've been given, you're finding ways for it to make you money back. So that if you do, and probably you will, end up in a situation where the label no longer wants to have anything to do with you. There aren't quite as many fans as there used to be. The hype isn't as large as it used to be. So once you kind of get kicked out of that mainstream limelight, because nobody's in the mainstream limelight forever, once you get kicked out of that limelight, you can continue your hustle independently. You can continue that hustle independently. I hope 21 Savage sticks to this. I hope everything his manager has said here is absolutely true, because this is a smart move. This is the move that anybody who finds themselves in the music industry should be making. You know, do not just frivolously throw your money away. Find ways for that money to make you money, and find ways to sort of help other people too, but also while kind of building up your own business interests. So that's going to be it. That's all I have to say for now. Take my advice. This is a smart move. This is, again, some of the best news I've heard all week. I hope more people follow 21 Savage's advice here. I hope more people are able to kind of take their money, reinvest it into themselves, and maybe sort of find ways to kind of totally circumvent the mainstream music industry. Start your own label. Start your own sector of the music industry, you know, because that's good startup money for, you know, a small label or something like that. Start your own shit. Do your own shit independently. There are a lot of ways that you could sort of spend that money that is much wiser in a business sense than just sort of throwing it all into a chain that's just going to sit on your neck. It's going to get old. It might get snatched. Who the fuck knows at this point? So you're the best. Love you, love you, love you. Over here next to my head is another video that you can check out. Hit that up or hit up the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, forever.